Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Slappin Kpop podcast. I'm Sammi, and today it's an all-girl episode because I'm joined with Kayla.
Hello.
And Maria.
96 liners represent. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
This is the first ever all girls episode that we're having, so it's very exciting.
Hey, ladies! I'm having too much fun. I'm sorry.
We are. It's gonna be a good time because
We're thriving today.
We're thriving today because we did the episode that are the bane of our existence.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing 20. Not to live in the past in that awful year, but we have to finish it. We're doing 2020 quarter 4 review.
And as you might notice, not everyone in the podcast is here.
No, because that's impossible to schedule, for one.
Number two,
none of us want to do this.
They're horrible.
In the old format.
I hate recording these podcasts so much. They're so long. I hate them. Everyone hates them. So we decided, let's just not do that anymore. Let's just take that format, throw it out the window.
It's a new year, a new life, a new start. We're doing it in a way better format where we're going to do a mini best and worst. We're going to talk about our favorite songs of the quarter and the worst songs of the quarter and everything in between.
Yes. It's going to be a lot less structured, and I think that's going to be way better than whatever we were doing before.
I think in the end, we're going to talk about a lot more songs, but you aren't going to have to sit here for 3 hours as we talk in depth about
as we try to think of in-depth things to say about these songs that sometimes we didn't even care about. So
Nope, we just try to fill time.
Yeah.
And especially on quarter 4, where it is the quarter where the least happens in K-pop.
I was very underwhelmed by quarter 4.
It was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
It was very underwhelming.
In the pop side, probably, but I will say outside the pop side, some people did deliver, but we won't be talking about those that much. But.
You had a full K-hip-hop episode.
I did, and it's out now. Go listen to it.
Last week.
Listen to me and Satsi talk about our favorite things from last year. But anyways, back to our regular schedule.
Quarter 4 and then spoilers for quarter 1. It's not off to a great start.
Quarter 1 is also very boring
now.
That
drove me and Kayla to start listening to J-pop.
We're into J-pop and C-pop right now because that's all I got for quarter 1.
I've been listening to old school some older J-rock, and also I will say R&B and hip-hop's not doing too bad so far. Quarter 1, not bad. Surprisingly,
K-pop is
I thought it was
slowly not doing
K-pop
anything.
nothing is happening in K-pop right now.
There's a couple comebacks though coming up in quarter 1 though that I'm excited for.
There
but
are,
so far it's been
but
slow.
Also
and there's only been like one that I've liked.
I've only liked one, like one and a half.
It's been G-Idol. No, that's
mine is also G-Idol. So
mine was MC&D.
Good.
I like G-Idol and I kind of like One Us, and so I got like 1.5 comebacks this year.
I think One Us's album is better than the title.
The title track is where I have problems with.
Let's go back to last year.
Last year, quarter 4,
start. 2020. We have a list of these. They're not in any order except the order we thought of them. So, some highlights of the year. Golden Child had another cute comeback with Pump It Up, which was adorable.
Golden Child continuing to just make a 180 concept changes constantly.
And now they're gonna have another comeback.
And now we've got like weird emo zombie concept coming up, and I'm just like, cool.
Pump It Up was
but
so
I love
cute
Golden Child. Cute Golden Child is thriving. I love them.
Yeah, I think that I feel like they're just gonna have the opposite concept of whatever Drippin' has.
Yeah.
At that time.
I don't know if Drippin' has a concept yet, to be perfectly honest.
I think they're trying to figure it out.
I don't know either.
I don't think they do.
To quick fire mention all of the debuts. Drippin' debuted with Nostalgia, Bay173 with Crush on You, P1 Harmony, surprise of the quarter with Siren, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then We with Twilight, and then you had Enhypen with Given and Taken. We have a full episode about
all of those groups plus more.
Yes.
So just go listen to that.
Yeah. Go listen to our 2020 boy group debuts part 2. We gush about these groups forever. Is just 5 years old.
They're a 5-year-old group.
They aren't a debut group. They're just 5 years old. They don't feel like a debut group. And also, we have a member of JBJ debuting again. They're 5 years old.
Jesus.
They're so old. Is like they're such a weird group, but I do like them a lot.
Also, is probably, because we've been teasing this the entire year for our produce retrospective. WeI is sort of the thesis statement of the fact that
producers ruining the K-pop industry.
And WeI is proof of that. Yep. So is Bay173, I think.
Not nearly as much as WeI.
Not to the extent of that,
not nearly to the extent that WeI is.
Yes. And then ENHYPEN, just surprising. I was nervous, as I've said before.
They could have been bad.
They could have been. I was scared I wasted so much of my time watching that show and podcasting that show and editing that show and putting my opinions on that show out on the internet just to hate the group.
But they're good. They're good. And they're good.
Yay!
Yay.
BTS talked about the sign of the times with Life Goes On.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically.
That was a very appropriate song and album to release at the time.
Yes. It was sort of the perfect time for it. I mean, I will say, for as much as I loved Life Goes On, I will say the only song that genuinely made me emotional was Blue and Gray.
Blue and Gray is one of my favorite B-sides BTS has ever made.
It's
now.
So
I love it so much.
It's so good. And it genuinely made me emotional, like in a weirdly very personal way, so that was amazing for BTS to still be able to do that in such a low-key album.
I tend to hate like boy group ballad slower songs. They're just not usually my thing. BTS's I always love for some reason. They're just so good at putting out like either power ballads or just like these really emotional songs like this, and I really love them.
I mean, I wouldn't like this song is just so low-key and quiet and just very, very, it feels very personal to them and also to the times in a way that's also not patronizing or like
it's not as much of a direct call out.
It's not about it's not
coronavirus. It's not like we lost the summer from TXT. That's just about the pandemic.
Even though that song also
basically
that song is also amazing. Like that song takes it on
also
directly
fantastic.
and also very fun. But Blue and Gray is beyond that, but also you can tell it is about this, just sort of an indirect way.
Mm-hmm.
BTS wouldn't have made Blue and Gray if we were not in the middle of a global pandemic.
BTS hasn't released this song or this album if we're not in the middle of a global pandemic.
No. What else we have?
Woods.
Bump Bump.
Very
Woods
cute.
continues to be great.
Great. It's a very different vibe than Love Me Harder, like the entire album, but it's still very good. I still enjoyed it a lot. It does have big Pentagon vibes, Bump Bump. It does sound
he
like
also kind of looks like
it.
Edon in that video that he did.
It's very, and he's got Edon vibes as well.
He looks a little bit like Edon in Shine.
Mm-hmm. Also love that the fan cams for that, like his like
his doll
stuffed
got a fan
bear
cam?
plushie thing has a fan cam. Yeah.
Yes, it's adorable.
Love that.
Blue Hour by TXT came out. TXT continues to kill it. We gave it Best Mini of the Year in our awards.
We did.
Incredible. Also, our two favorite things: crop tops and cowboys.
Crop tops and cowboys.
Crop tops and cowboys and whistles.
And it's still even with both of that, we gave it Mini Album of the Year. Even with the cowboys.
Even with Kayla's favorite concept.
My favorite.
Now, Kayla, what if this new Golden Child comeback was just instead of zombie cow?
I would have been zombies, it very upset.
Zombie cowboys.
This is when I cancel Woolham Entertainment. Like that's when we throw Woolham Entertainment in the garbage.
When we get Golden Child Cowboys.
Oh, so it's also just now a running joke that Dan has made after the Drippin' Cowboys discussion in the boy group debut episode. He made an edited image of like a Drippin' tweet with a comeback with a cowboy concept and like threw it in our Discord one day. And now
put it right here, editor Kayla.
I'll put it right here.
It needs to be shown to
Dan spent way too much time editing that image together. And now I'm just very upset that it's just in the universe, and that's a possibility that they could be doing that.
And maybe Willow will see it and be like, maybe it's a good idea. Maybe we gotta go full country western with. No. Maybe that's Drippin's concept.
Maybe they go full country music,
full Korean country music. It'd be different.
Mm-hmm. It would be. I wouldn't be happy about it. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't be happy about it. But
I mean, I think it'd be terrible, but
it'd be horrible.
Like, I think that it would be awful and it would be a bad idea, but also, like, you know what? K-pop, you've done weirder things somehow.
Yeah. Yep.
Alright. Next, I think we get to talk about NCT 2020.
Yeah, just the general everything of NCT
not
2020.
The
A lot
the
happened
good
with
part of
NCT
NCT 2020. The bad we'll get to, because it was like, I would say it's 50-50. Part 1, great.
Fantastic. That's why we only nominated Part 1 for Album of the Year.
Exactly. Part 1, fantastic. All of the pre-release stuff, you had like Misfit and Deja Vu and all of that, good. Great. From Home, great power ballad. I will say the Korean version of From Home,
even better From Home. Like
the rearranged version of From Home, better From Home. The Korean version of From Home, I'm sorry, when you lose
Korean
the
From
fact
Home
that they're
shouldn't
talking
exist.
in their own language, it becomes way worse.
Korean
somehow.
From Home, like
Yeah.
that whole concept of Korean From Home, like just shouldn't exist.
No, it's worse From Home.
Also, I am upset that they didn't utilize that whole concept of From Home, like to the extent that they could with all of the members that they have,
Yes.
which they do in like the they bring all of their in the rearranged like live performance, they bring in all of their foreign members for that. At like the least I wanted from that is I want 10 also there in Thai because Thai sings.
Yeah.
And I want at
some
least
Thai.
one. And I want
never-
Jaehyun to be the one speaking English. I don't give like we English to Hate Chan. Like
No, I think
but
you
at
have,
least you can give it to
You have
Jaehyun.
so many actual foreign. Like, we don't want it to the I don't think the extent of having fucking Yang Yang try to sing in German, which would have been weird.
No, that would have been very weird.
That would have been bad.
And they're
'cause
two
one, Yang
like
Yang
they're
doesn't
two.
sing,
They're American
but Ten
and
sings
Canadian.
Thai.
Well, yeah,
Ten can
they're
sing
American
in
and they're
Thai.
Canadian are both rappers, so I don't think Mark or Johnny are in there doing the English part either.
But Jaehyun can speak English.
Jaehyun,
fine.
give it to Jaehyun.
Jaehyun.
But the least you can do, give it to Jaehyun.
Yeah. And if you just want Mark to come in and talk drop the song and have him talk at the end, I don't fucking.
You give like a Mark like one of those like an Ed Hypen style, just like talking over
like
the
an
music intro.
You
Yeah,
give him Jake's like
the Jake weird intro. Yeah.
Jake, I don't know why they gave Jake 2 songs full.
Just
when they have another English speaker too.
They love the accent.
They want the accent because Jay is American.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is just like they have like for as great as the concept of From Home was, the fact that like they could have taken it maybe a little bit farther.
They could have taken it a step farther.
Yeah. And the only thing would just be like add 10, because I don't think it would be that hard to translate one of the lyrics to Thai.
And like you can easily take 10 out of like 90s Love or Work It easily. Just take him out of there and put him in From Home instead.
You could put him also in that because again, I don't think they really were looking for fair distribution because half of them are in way too many songs anyway. Jamin's in like 4 of them. Jamin's in 3 of them.
Jamin, is he in 3 of them?
Jamin's in 2 of them. I'm wrong because Jamin's in.
Because 10 is in. I think
Love.
there's only members that are in 2. I don't think anyone's in more than 2.
Still, Doyeon's in half of most of the album. That's the thing too.
Oh yeah, if you look at the other album tracks,
if you look at the album
it's
tracks, also
it's a disaster.
Yeah. Like I don't think they're looking for like really fair line distribution. This is SM Entertainment.
And just give him like 2 lines in From Home or something.
Girl,
yeah, like,
if they're gonna have 20 fucking people in this group,
23 people now.
Like song line distribution fairness is just not gonna happen.
But
it's
also,
just
like,
not gonna happen at all.
But like also like
happen.
they don't seem to care about how many songs everybody's in. Put 10 in this and give me another language. Also, but then we get to the star in the jewel that is NCT 2020. Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish. Also Make-A-Wish English version.
Also Make-A-Wish English version, an icon of our time. An
Absolutely
icon of
iconic.
English lyrics of all time.
Just whistle the whole time. That was pretty damn good. Like that.
It's
that
so
was,
good.
Like, really.
This
damn
is
good.
like the Ho anthems of like Ho anthems.
Yes, it's the Ho anthem to end all Ho anthems.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It is great. It is.
You just need the twerk to it.
I mean, that's the thing when you get it. It's just like it is some of the best members of NCT doing what they're good at.
One of their best songs that any NCT unit has had too. So it's
Period.
like, yeah.
Like period. Even like the fact that like this is Shotaro's debut.
It is good.
He needs some work.
Like what a great debut song for him to have.
This is his
in this
debut song.
Yeah. That's a great debut song to have. And just Make-A-Wish like that.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's great. Yeah, this is on our top 10 of the year list. We gushed about it for like 10 minutes there.
Well, it's like, what other songs on NCT 2020 that I enjoy? I like Volcano a lot because it's just Boss 2.0.
It is Boss
sung by
2.0.
the Boss unit, so like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I do like
It's Boss with like 3 years later.
While we're talking about NCT 2020, I want to bring up Resonance 2020, which is a very
confusing song.
Confusing abomination of like a remix of like 4 or 5 different songs on the album. And it's supposed to be like the black on black of this like entire NCT 2020
not.
Because it's a remix. So it has Raise the Roof, Make-A-Wish, 90s Love, Work It, and I think that's it. Yeah, and so my biggest problem with it is like, why don't you just make Raise the Roof the black on black of this thing? Because it just fits for that, and like that's the song that's carrying the entire remix through anyway. So why don't you just make Raise the Roof the black on black and just have that your 23-person performance unit?
And not just have me have like random snippets of 4 different songs.
Yeah, and it's like I don't even count it as
quality.
I don't count it as a second song because it's a remix. Like it's not its own song at all.
It also doesn't. If it's a song, it's not a good song because it's
also
5 different songs.
It's 5.5 minutes long too.
Oh yeah.
So it's just a remix. It's a weird remix. I don't understand why they couldn't just make Raise the Roof the black on black and have that be the singular song that's your OT23 performance song, because I think that works perfectly and it works better than what they were doing with that.
Yeah, I think NCT continues to have the problem of being way too hit and miss.
Yeah, I agree.
Where it's like, you'll come out with a Make-A-Wish, and then for some reason, instead of giving this project a banger of an ending with 23 people, you give it this weird whimper of a combination of 5 different songs that, like, doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I think SM just needs to, like,
be more
consistent.
Even within NCT 2020, it was very hit and miss, because, like, part 1 was, like, fantastic, and then part 2, and it's just, like, what's even going on in part 2? Like...
We'll get to that when we get to the bad.
Yeah.
So now we go to maybe the least K-pop song here?
No.
Nope, I'm wrong.
That's
I forget the last minute edition here, Kayla. I forgot that was the last minute. Nope.
We're not even on the least K-pop yet.
It's not even the least K-pop song. It's More by KDA.
Yeah. KDA has no right being as good as they are.
No.
Like
K-pop,
and the fact that this is a League of Legends.
This is just a League of Legends, like,
made this good.
Weird girl group, yeah.
Yep. And it's better than a lot of currently active girl groups in K-pop. They're consistently better.
Surprisingly.
I liked this a lot.
I liked every song they released except for the Twice one because it's very on KDA-like, but it's a Twice song. So it's like, I don't like it because it's a Twice song and KDA is singing it. It's its own song, it's fine, but I just don't like the fact that it is a KDA song.
Yes.
But I like every single other song that they put out. So good. Like, so good.
Oh yeah, like I just don't get it how good it is. I mean, of course I'm going to be biased to their first single, but
their first one I don't think they're beating. I don't think they're beating Pop Stars ever, but
no,
because that was like out of the water. Like,
yeah.
Hello, but yeah, that was great.
I also just love the fact that it's because it's a League of Legends thing and they just have 4 characters. They can bring in anyone they want to voice any of those characters and sing songs as them.
Yep.
And so I think that's really cool. It's barely K-pop. It is the only person who really sings Korean is Soyeon when she's there.
And then I guess Miyeon whenever she was in Pop Stars.
Miyeon sings about like 50-50 in English and Korean, so
yeah. I mean this whole song is just like it has no right to be as good as it is.
Mm-hmm.
No right. This could just be slapdash.
Like, you just think of the idea of this is a League of Legends virtual girl group, and that just sounds bad. It should be bad, but it's just it's so good.
It's not at all.
It's not though.
It's amazing.
Anyways, so I guess I actually slid this other one on here. DPR Ian, Mr. Christian from the Dream Perfect crew, which has DPR Live, he decided to all of a sudden out of the blue be like, I'm gonna drop a single and I'm gonna make it one of the best pop songs that ever has made Maria's jaw drop harder than ever before. And that's what he did. And I'm like, okay, boy, thank you. Like, literally, never, like, it's been a good while since I've had a pop song that just make me gasp audibly, and this one did. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is a song that actually me and Satsy did talk about a little bit too in our R&B K-hip-hop
DPR Ian is
well.
the one
But like,
from
this
C
is so
Clown,
good.
right?
Yeah, DPR Ian was from C Clown. He was Romeo, I think that was his stage name in C Clown. C Clown, obviously, that didn't go far, but he in turn decided to, you know, be part of Dream Perfect. And for the most part, he's been working on, you know, the music videos, filming those. Those have been pretty good so far. And music video for So Beautiful is so beautiful. But in terms of, like, the stylistic choices that he made for it, it's just, wow. Like, everything about this is just like, wow. Did not see this coming, but yet it was so fantastic. I highly, highly, highly recommend people to check this out because this deserves so much more love. It's such a good song. It's such a good pop song. Like, oh my god. Like, honestly, I could see, like, I was talking with Satsy about this, and we're like, this could be a top 40 hit in the States. Because it's all in English. Like, if the cards were played differently, this probably could have been a top 40 hit in the States. It's just so well produced. It's so well done. Go check it out. And that's my little rant on that.
DPR Ian, he's, because I edited your hip-hop episode, he's like usually not on like the music side, he's more on like the music video production side or something, right?
Yeah, that's correct, usually. Or at least he has been with under Dream Perfect. He has been under the music video, I guess you could say, visual production side of things. But he did direct the music video for this too as well. And of course
nice.
Was very involved in his music. Yeah, or at least in the 2 singles he's dropped so far.
That's cool.
Yeah, his other single was in No Blueberries. That has CL and DPR Live.
Oh, I've heard that one.
Yeah, I got no blueberries on my ice cream cake. I don't know why blueberries and ice cream cake. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing in Korea. Who knows? But yeah, So Beautiful is so beautiful. Just go listen to it. That's all I'm gonna say. Please put some effort. Give yourself some great pop music. Go do it. But yeah.
So now we're gonna reach the
Now
least
it's the
K-pop.
least K-pop
Now it's time for the least K-pop songs here. So we have 2.
We've been driven out of K-pop.
We have been driven out of K-pop. So we are now giving you K-pop, but in Japanese. So
That's what it is. It's not J-pop. It's K-pop.
It's K-pop in Japanese. So JO1,
or J01,
as
we will
we
affectionately
incorrect
call
we
them.
will call them for an entire episode.
And
So
forever.
their third comeback since second comeback. It's their second comeback
Third
after
release.
their debut. Third release.
Yes.
Shine a Light.
Shine a Light is great. I
great.
love this song so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe my favorite of the title tracks. We had watched all of J01 before starting Produce Japan, which will probably be out next week.
Yes.
And we had seen all of it. We could not remember who was in the group, to be honest with ourselves.
Couldn't remember
now we
a
know
single
all of
person.
them.
Now
Love
I know all of them.
Great. And great boys. And so this song was just, we had heard it and I was immediately like, why are they good? Why are they so good?
Because when
Why
we were
is this so
discussing
good?
the produce thing, I was like, oh, I wonder what kind of music J01 is making. So when I listened to their songs, they're like, oh, so they're just making K-pop in Japanese. Cool. And I'm
But
that means
good
they're
K-pop
good.
in Japanese. It doesn't even sound like the Japanese songs that K-pop groups release, because those are also very hit and miss.
Those are more so J-pop than
this is just like if you translated a K-pop song into Japanese, and I love that.
And this was a full album that they released with Shine a Light.
Which both of us own.
We both own it.
Yeah.
It's
I have not seen this show yet.
Yep.
There's a lot of.
It's a very good album. They do have a lot of the concept evaluation songs from Produce Japan.
They also have the Pick Me on here. They have all of the
bad Pick Me on here.
They have all except for 2.
Well, they don't have Blackout, they don't have Domino, which are the 2 best ones, and
Which
I
are
don't
the
know
2
why
best
those are the
ones.
2 songs they didn't put on the
Yep.
album.
Yep. But yeah, they have them all except
But they
for
have
2
Happy
of them.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Happy Merry Christmas is an iconic moment.
I love that
I
song.
love Happy Merry
I
Christmas
listen to that
so
song
much.
like every day.
I like
and
how
it's
it's
the end of
Happy Merry
January.
Christmas,
Oh,
not like
Happy
either
Merry
Happy
Christmas is
Christmas
just a
or Merry
Christmas song,
Christmas.
but
They
it's
decided to
the
shove
best.
both of them in there.
It is a
Happy
Christmas
Merry
song.
Christmas
It is
is
a
the
full-ass
best.
Christmas song.
K-pop, J-pop, any kind of Asian pop Christmas song I've ever heard. It's the best.
It's the
one
only
by
one
a
I've
mile.
ever enjoyed of
the
Christmas
only
songs.
good one.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out, because they have the J01 version of the Pick Me, but it's all
bad.
it is. It's just like the live recording from the finale, and so everyone is out of sync and off pitch the entire one, and I'm like, why is this the official recording on your album? Like, why?
Because Kayla, that finale was a mess. And
Finale was a mess.
you can learn more next week.
But that just
about
reminds
why-
me, because it's like, when they're at the finale, that's not even the full group, so there are people in that recording probably
That
that aren't
shouldn't
even
be
in
there?
the group. Like,
Yeah, that shouldn't be there. But they are in our next group, which is Orbit,
Yes, which
which
is
is
Orbit.
essentially a bunch of people
it's
that
the
did
JBJ
not make
of
J01.
Produce Japan.
But it's not, because both J01 and Orbit are permanent groups because all
are.
of these kids were plucked off the street and just don't have contracts with any other company. So they just got picked up by a company and they're permanent groups.
I also want to make this point, because this is the reason we're allowed to talk about Orbit forever, is Orbit has 3 members of Halo, former K-pop group Halo, and there's 7 members in Orbit, which makes them 42.8% Korean. NCT 2020 is 43% full Korean.
I like how you said 42.8% Korean.
Because
That's
they're
the math.
essentially like the
That's
same
the math.
percentage Korean as NCT 2020.
And NCT
so-
2020 is K-pop, so is Orbit. Bam.
Yep. So this is Orbit K-pop. They're 43% Korean. You count as K-pop.
And we're allowed to talk about J01 only because, again, Mnet property, Mnet show, blame CJE and M Entertainment. Don't blame me.
Produce has ruined the
Produce
Asian
is-
music industry.
And, yep.
All of it. All countries involved in Produce has ruined it.
So, to give some context, Kayla and I have in the past month watched like 4 seasons of Produce.
You're on like season
Oh,
4.
Jesus.
We've watched 4 seasons
Yep.
of Produce in like the past like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting
We're
getting
having-
through
we're having a
them, and we're
time.
having a time. We are making so much.
This is what happens when K-pop is so boring that we're forced into other, like, to watch
We're watching
all seasons
all
of Produce.
the foreign seasons of Produce.
Yeah.
Because we've already seen the Korean ones. We don't need to see those again.
But back to Orbit.
Back to Orbit.
Debuted with a full album. If I had known about this album, I would have nominated it for full album of the year. Like, it's so good.
It was very good.
It's
It's
such a good
amazing.
album. It's like it's so good, and they also have a lot of solo and like unit songs on the album too. And it blows my mind that they debuted with a full album too.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's really good, too.
yeah,
It's so
very
good.
well produced. It's also
very
very
well
K-pop.
polished.
Orbit's a
All
very
of these
K-pop
kids,
group.
yes. All of them were on, like, 3 members of Halo, obviously, but who were forced off of the show. But all the other ones were in the finale, so they were very close to being in J01.
They ranked like in like the 19th through 12th or something. They were all in there.
Yeah, they were all very high. Orbit, we have theories about, but Orbit consistently on that show were ranking in the top 10.
Halo.
Halo? I meant Halo.
The 3 members of Halo were consistently like ranked like 5 through 9 in Produce Japan, and then were forced off the show a week before the finale. So there's a lot of theories there.
Allegedly, let's not get
Allegedly
sued
they
by...
allegedly they left for personal reasons, but it's very suspicious.
It's very
Anyway.
obvious.
But now they're in Orbit with a bunch of other boys from that show that I also loved. And now they're a great group together. So I'm very happy that they exist. Orbit also teasing a mini album release for April, like right now, which is, I guess, a J-pop thing.
I'm assuming that's how J-pop works, but
Yeah.
other than that, I'm having a very fun...
I'm having a lot of fun in the J-pop universe right now. So this next song, Daisy by Pentagon, I put here
It's
purely
good.
because the song is fine. I find the song paired with the music video extremely
hilarious.
funny. So funny.
I legitimately, and every time that comes on and I see that Daisy video, I burst out laughing
It's so
it does
funny.
not work.
It's
But
so
it also
funny.
works perfectly.
I also made an edit where I took Daisy and I put it over the Dr. Bebe music video, and I'm like, this is the same
Almost
vibe.
funnier.
The
Almost
same vibe.
funnier.
The music video is just
So dramatic.
like a level 20 on like the emo scale. It's just like there are burning cars and they're in a bathroom and crying, and it just looks really sad and emo.
Crying
and then you
out in
hear
the rain next to a car while on your knees, just
and
screaming.
Daisy
Yes,
is
iconic.
not at all
Dramatic.
that type of a song. Daisy, like that's like maybe what the lyrics are about, but Daisy is like an upbeat, happier sounding song, and just seeing the two together, and I'm like, something
Not
is
even-
weird.
Like,
It's
yeah, they're going
weird.
for, like, melodrama, but it's not melodrama in the way of I'm having emotional turmoil. It's melodrama in that what you could have done was just, like, don't make it look like someone has died. Make it look like you just got broken up with. Like, it's not...
it's just
like,
like,
no
why
one
are
died.
the cars on
Jesus.
fire? And it's like everything is so it's way
maybe
too dramatic
like-
than it needs to be.
Like, it still would have been dramatic if it was like, oh no, she's leaving me. I'm crying in my apartment. No, now it's like I'm crying out in the rain as if I have just, like, watched her get murdered
it's way too
and
dramatic.
want revenge.
It's
Like,
way-
what's happening
way-
in
That's
this
like
video?
dramatic.
way
as
too dramatic.
fuck.
It's too dramatic. It does not work with the song.
Wicked
The
dramatic.
song is good.
The
Like,
song is good.
maybe
Daisy
the
is
best.
Daisy's a really good song, but the music video is just like, what's happening?
It gives me Daisy gives me hope for Pentagon. For as much as we had thoughts about how Pentagon is,
Pentagon post Road to Kingdom is kind of a disaster.
yes, I think that
Just a
the
little
military will probably be a good break for Pentagon. When they come back, we'll
But
figure it out.
they are also missing their two main vocals now.
Yep.
So I don't know how Pentagon
Kino
proceeds
is going
from
to carry
here.
this group on his back.
I don't
at
know
this
how
point.
Pentagon proceeds from this point onward, honestly.
Who knows? So up next we have another fun video with 17's Home Run. And this is just a Broadway song.
It is.
This is a musical. And I love
Musical Theater
it.
17.
It's very musical theater. It's so cute. It's very fun. 17 went this after Left and Right, it was just so simple and so fun. This is just sort of like upping back up a little bit and going more toward that fun musical theater light vibe with it. And I had fun with it. I vibe with that.
It's very fun. I like the choreography a lot. It's very musical theater like esque. So I enjoyed it a lot because that's like show tunes is like one of the only other genres of music I listen to these days. So
It's K-pop, not a lot.
K-pop
show
and
tunes,
Broadway show
and
tunes.
J-pop
Yeah.
and some C-pop sprinkled in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess I will next talk about the one, the only, Pekyerin or Yerin Pek with 0415 of her latest album, Tell Me About Yourself. She released this midway through December, about, I'd say. But yeah, I wanted to highlight this because it definitely is a little bit of a different term for her, where she kind of goes in a more, I guess you could say, dance, subtle club-esque track, I guess is the way to describe the song, but it's really, really good. And I'm like, ooh, this is like smooth. She is definitely pushing her, she's definitely pushing her boundaries on what types of songs she wants to make. This album, surprisingly, I didn't expect it to be mostly in English, but it was, once again, from her, previous album. What was it? I think Letters to You or something like that. I forget what it's called, but that was a big one. But yeah, she's going more so, she's just on a binge to create music in English, I guess, for whatever reason. I'm not complaining too much because it's pretty damn good music. But yeah, this was a great title track coming off of an already fantastic album, I think. She just keeps, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with her music that she does that it's just so addictive to me, but it just is. And I just keep going back for more. And yeah, she's done, I think, fantastic. And this track, I think, is an interesting growth in her evolution of branching out and trying different genres in her music. The music video for this is a little bit weird, though, I will say. She's kind of doing that whole... She definitely got some inspiration from BTS and Luna in terms of, like, music video storylines.
Oh, no.
Because there's definitely a storyline where it's, like... Something about this and the other songs on her album tie into this whole vampire chick who lives by herself and then gets these other people. It's, like, weird, though, because it's not, like, a traditional vampire thing you would think about, but it's, like, more subtle... And it's just it's interesting. It's very interesting.
And Hypin also got the vampire things going on.
Yeah, except like I feel like though it's not like as much. This one's like more of like this is like if there was such thing as like indie vampire, this is what this would be. I don't know how else to describe it, but and maybe that's a terrible way to describe it, but but yeah, yeah, for some reason she decided to go with that. I don't know what I fully think about that, but either way, cool song, great album. Definitely highly recommend to go check it out as well. Yeah. Keep going, Becky. Nice job.
The next song we have on here is Panorama by IZ*ONE. And I like this song a lot. I have a lot of problems with it as well because this has the potential to be my favorite IZ*ONE song if they didn't sound horrible when they were singing it. Like, the song itself is very good, but the vocals are maybe the worst vocals I've ever heard out of IZ*ONE, and that's what really kills it for me because I can't listen to it because the vocals are so bad. Ugh. And I think some of that is unfixable because some of it is a problem with, I think this song is pitched in a slightly too high for all of them, and it's pitched so high that everyone is singing out like the top of their like they're on the top of their range and they're kind of nasally because they have to hit all of these notes in the chorus that are way too high.
To be honest, I think a couple of those girls are out of their range.
There are most of them are. Almost all of them are singing out of their range.
Like, they're not. It sounds. The song is good, and I think the song would be better if it was just way lower.
Yeah, I also think that the line distribution is another thing. I think you could easily fix some of it with line distribution. They have some of the Japanese members, I think, singing the wrong parts of the song where their vocals don't fit the parts, and it sounds worse than if they were singing a different area of the song. And so I think some of it could have been fixed just by redistributing it better, but also I do think a lot of it is like you can't fix it because the song is just like the way the song's written, which is sad. I do like the B-sides. The only thing with the B-sides is I like all of them. There just isn't one that I exceptionally like a lot, which there usually is from IZ*ONE albums. Also, I mean,
I think this album overall was kind of like fine, but like I feel like all the other IZ*ONE albums had like
I think it's their worst. I think it's their worst one they've released so far, honestly.
Yeah,
and they disbanded this year, so like there's not getting anything else from them.
Yeah, here's the thing: it's not bad. It's just boring.
It is. It is pretty boring in comparison to their other ones. Their other albums had stronger B-sides. And, like, I do like, I think, Panorama better than, as a song, better than, for sure, Fiesta and for sure, Violetta. And then if the vocals were better, I think it's my favorite. But because of the weird singing vocal problems it has is when it, like, really is, like, I don't even know what to do with the song anymore. Yeah. Which is sad. I like IZ*ONE a lot.
I think IZ*ONE is, again, we'll get into it later in our massive produce retrospective, but IZ*ONE is one of the best groups that they've
Second best produced group.
Second best produced group at this point. So next we have both Twice songs.
Both.
I Can't Stop Me and Cry For Me.
Yes.
Both of which are very good. I enjoyed both.
I like both of them a lot.
I think that the album itself was also good. I know that somehow we like it more than Dan does.
The Eyes Wide Open album is my favorite Twice album so far. I really like it.
It's up there for me. It's in like my top 2 or 3.
It's Dan who ults Twice, least favorite Twice album.
Dan does not enjoy
Really? This album's his least favorite? It's probably my favorite from them.
He does not enjoy it.
It's one of my favorites. It's like top 3 for me. I think
this is such a great album from them.
I love that
thing.
album.
I think for Dan, I think that what he said is just like there's nothing about it that he thinks is exceptional, and I'm like, great. But unlike a lot of Twice albums, there's nothing in it that is bad.
That's bad, yeah.
Because there's a lot of bad in a lot of Twice albums.
So I have noticed the trend with this album that a lot of the people who like are really into Twice don't like it as much, and the people who are not as into Twice like love it the most.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
so I think something weird's going on with like the style of the B-sides in the album that doesn't resonate with the people who are like really into Twice because it's not their usual style.
Yes.
Because they're now going a different direction
into a different sound.
Yeah. I also feel like the album almost works better if "Cry for Me" is the title track because it seems to fit the entire like vibe of the album a little bit better in a way.
I think both of them are good. I really wish we would have gotten like a video for "Cry for Me." I think that would have been great.
Because I heard them perform "Cry for Me" and it is the Mamas, I think, when they first did that, and it was really good. And I'm really glad they decided to release it like officially because I really liked it. But I think it's almost a little bit more representative of like them heading in a new direction, which I think they are now because they're going to go for this more mature, like less cute concept.
I think it's obviously good than going in a new direction since Fancy
they have been
You,
in a while, but I think this is like it's like more obvious now, I guess. Now, and I think I Can't Stop Me seems like more in the realm of like what Twice has been doing. And Cry for Me just seem like it's a little bit more of like now we're in like a different sort of era for Twice.
Yeah. I Can't Stop Me, honestly, is definitely one of my favorite title tracks from them, and I think this, I don't know, something about, it's not that I did like Twice prior, Twice was just more hit or miss with their music prior to like Fancy You, I feel like, and then all of a sudden from like Fancy You onward, I've been getting really into their albums. Like Feel Special is my favorite project from them at this point, and then like this latest album from them is like probably my second favorite. Like I just, for some reason, this change in sound is just something I think I always wanted from them because I could see that they could like pull this kind of style really well, and they have been in my eyes. So I've been like really enjoying that.
I just think I like the new direction Twice is going. I know a lot of Twice fans don't love it.
I think a lot of Twice fans might be there because they want them to be cute. But
also they're like 25
they're like
now.
25.
And
some of them are 25 now, and it's like we can't be doing that forever. Like
we cannot make Cheer Up at the age of 30. No.
But I do definitely enjoy the new direction more, I think, than mid-era, early Twice.
I think early Twice was really a lot, and then slowly they've just been sort of changing and growing, and I've been more on board as time went on.
Yeah.
Early Twice was a lot.
Early Twice was very weird, honestly.
Like Ooh was like a great star for them. It should have probably gotten a music video. It should have gotten a music video award, but it didn't. And then Cheer Up was like weird.
Gives you right to Cheer Up, which is bad.
And then you get
have
TT
stuff like
and Knock Knock and Signal.
TT was great. I also really liked
TT,
Knock Knock
but
and Signal.
Signal's bad.
I know Signal.
It's like what's happened with Signal.
Okay, the music video for that song's weird, but I like actually still like the song. For some reason,
I don't like that song.
The video's weird, but it's almost weird in like a K-pop-y way where I'm like, okay, the video's not
I don't
bad.
mind the music video. It's the actual song.
The song itself
I'm
is
just like, I can't listen to that. I did hear someone rearranged it, and I did like it a lot better. So I think it is like a weird song structure issue, but
okay, that's fair.
So next we have one of my favorite songs. We have A Book in Memory by One Way, where I get weird Regulus vibes, and of course I liked that. If anyone couldn't guess that I enjoy a song that reminds me of Regulus.
It's like when I first, because it almost made it your favorite song of the year.
I did.
And
for a hot second, I'm like, this is just.
And my logic, because you were asking, like, do I like it better than Parting? And I'm like, well, A Book in a Memory reminds me more of Regulus, so the more like Regulus, probably the better you like it.
And then I decided to re-listen to Regulus, and I'm like, I have figured out my feelings, and it kept dropping. I think it ended up at like number 30.
Yeah, and it was almost one.
Nope, this doesn't work. Something's wrong here. I need to reevaluate my life. But I very enjoy it. I think OneWe does their emotional power ballads very well.
They do. They're very good at that.
Mm-hmm.
I also like Aquarium on that album.
Aquarium is
Aquarium
amazing.
is great.
Erase is also really good. I think that whole album is gorgeous. And I freaking love OneWe, man.
Mm-hmm. OneWe's great. So next we have another band, because we have Snooze by Lucy, which is an old song for them.
It is an old song.
Because it was from when they were on Superband, and so they just re-released it as like an actual physical single album, and then have another B-side on it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's fine. Like, I already knew the song, so I like knew what to expect from it, and it's just still good. Like, it's just still good. And their one B-side, also very good. And I just enjoy them so much. They're great.
Yeah, they're great. I think that Snooze is very fun. I think that Lucy had such an amazing year that, like, this is a friggin' amazing song, but we love their other titles. I would say I would still put above this one.
Yeah. I think I was kind of disappointed because it was just a re-release of an old song. And I was like, well, I don't get new Lucy music, so that was kind of sad. But it is, I do like Jogging and Flowering better than it as a whole.
I think, but I think that in general, it's just that it was so, like, Lucy's released such good music.
Yeah.
That this is somehow a disappointment, even though for most other groups, this would be, like, a freaking highlight.
Right. It's just that we have such a high bar for it now.
We have, our bar for Lucy keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep, like, superseding it.
Oh, yeah. So I'm very excited for what they do this year. I think only good things.
I want only good things for Lucy.
Mm-hmm. Next we have the moral winner of Best Girl Group Debut of the Year with Stacy's debut song So Bad.
Yes! Oh my god. The song's so great. I love it. And it's all because of the homies' Black Eyed Pills song. Because their production is heard all over this song. They have also produced other fantastic songs. I think they actually did do Fancy. They did, was it Ruan's Beep Beep? They did, I think they did for, A-Pink. Oh my god, they're just, like, such a good, like, producer duo team. And then all of a sudden, they decide to go let's create a freaking label so then we can have a group. So then we could, like, push our music through them, you know? Have them sing our songs directly. And so, yeah, that's Stacy for you. So, like, you could just see the music video and just the song in general is just Black Eyed Pills songs all over it. And I just, oh my god. Oh, I love their music. But yeah, this group's exciting too, because I'm just like, oh, they got a good production duo behind them. So they're going to get some good stuff. And also, like, they have, like, also the music video has pretty high production value.
Yeah, the music video is good.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Also, there's this chick that looks like, has hair as long as, like, oh no, it's not Chun-Li. Her hair's not in buns, but she has long hair. I can't tell if it's a wig or her actual hair, but I'm just like, it's long and braided. I'm like, damn, girl. I never grow my hair that huge. I don't know their names well, but so I'm sorry.
I don't know any of their names.
I don't know any of their names, but also they are the moral victors of Rookie Girl Group
like
of
them
the Year.
a lot.
If we were not threatened, they would have won by a landslide.
I like them a lot. I think they have really good vocals.
Every single one of us except for Dan considered Stacy to be our favorite girl group that debuted this year.
Mm-hmm. Is his Nature?
No, Nature's old. His is Weekly. We had to give it to Weekly, or he would have left. He
threatened to leave the podcast.
He threatened to leave.
Oh my god!
I think he was 100%. We didn't like press him on it to see what would happen, but I'm pretty sure he was serious. He would have just not come back. He would have left and just not returned.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Weekly, Weekly also released a song this quarter that I don't care about.
No, we're not talking about it. We're moving on. Moving along to a song.
Hey, look, it's me again. Hey, Kayla's in this group.
Here's the thing. We are now transitioning. This is the transition song where it's like, this is the end of the songs we all agree are good. Now we're in the transition, and then we'll get to the bad.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think
transition.
Okay, so in my opinion for Luna, I think both these songs are great. I know you two are gonna beg to differ. on at least one of them,
On
but
one of- I only-
why
one of
not
them.
in
One of them.
voice?
One of them is
Why not
fine.
in voice?
The other
What
one
about-
is
voice is good.
voice is fine.
Voice is
Yeah, voice
fine.
is
I have
good.
no problems with voice.
I have
voice
no
is
issues
like
with
a
voice.
nice voice is like, oh my god, it was like, hello, give me that little cute little dance pop thing. I like it when they perform this song too. They're wearing those like nice 70s bell bottoms pants, and I'm like, yes, girls, work it. But oh my god, voice, I'm just like, oh, this is like a nice throwback, but with a clear modern twist to it that I'm digging for. Someone who made this song for them clearly studied Dua Lipa's and future nostalgia for some inspiration, because I could hear that in this track and I was here for it. Plus they do have the English version known as Star, and I'd say it's up there in my personal list of some of the better English versions of songs. Not bad pronunciation, pretty solid, nice job, gets the job done, you know. Chu hits those high notes like and you know, so it's great. Why Not follows up their trend of actually it's a little more subtle than So What, I have to say. I think so What was definitely a lot more bombastic with the wood dubbing in its song. Why Not, there's a little bit of wood dubbing, but it's more like streamlined, but still it's fun to dance to, you know. Ooh la la, awe awe awe, catchy shit, in my opinion at least. Definitely you could definitely hear the handprints of Isuman all over this thing, though. He came back again to help, I guess, is it produce or executive
Yeah, I don't know
produce
what's going on.
this
with
comeback,
I don't know what's going
which
on
is
with any of this.
interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's interesting because this is like the only group so far out of SM that he's decided to do this for. So clearly he sees potential in Luna more so than he probably has ever seen in any other K-pop group that's not SM Entertainment artists, I guess. But you can also, it's funny hearing these songs too. I think the reason why I also like these, because I just listened to them, I'm like, okay, this was definitely a song that was absolutely considered for Red Velvet at some point in time. And I like Red Velvet a lot, you know, I enjoy their stuff. So like, I'm not complaining fully. Do I miss Mono Tree coming in and making songs for them? Yeah, a little. I do miss that Mono Tree touch from time to time, but I still think, especially with this album, I think they killed it with the B-sides once again. That's the one thing I'm glad that Luna's consistent with, is their B-sides. They are so consistent with delivering great B-sides. Even if the title tracks maybe stand out too much or might be a little bit questionable for certain people, at least they deliver in their overall album projects, and that was the case with this one. I think they delivered it well. It was nice to see that they had 2 comebacks last year, and yeah. So floor is yours, gals.
So I think me and Sammy's thing with this song is I barely consider it a song because
It's
I
not
see
a
it
song.
as a collection of sounds.
Which one are you
It's a
talking about?
collection
Why
of
not?
why
It's a
not?
collection
Okay.
of sounds.
Voice, to get voice out of the way, voice is fine. I
Voice
think we
is
both
fine.
agree voice is fine.
Voice is fine.
Why Not is a collection of phrases.
And
It's
sounds.
not a song.
It's a collection of phrases and sounds.
It's a
not
collection of
song.
phrases of sounds and song. Because you can genuinely, because it's not a song. It is one member coming forward, saying one short phrase, moving back, another member coming forward, saying short phrase, moving back, then ad nauseum for 12 people. And it's not a song.
And it's just the weird just noises happening in like the pre-chorus. I'm like not here for that. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's not a song. I disagree with that point.
Feelings.
But
It says nothing. It doesn't really do anything. It exists and it fills 3 minutes. That's what it is.
I think it exists just to be like a throw. I think it exists to be like a dance track, essentially, like a fun little bop track,
but it's
where you
not.
don't really
You
think about
can't-
it too much. But you know,
But it's also not.
I also
fun
don't
to dance
find
to.
it.
It's not.
I also
fun.
don't find
it's
it.
not lively.
I don't find it
It
catchy
doesn't have
in the slightest.
No, it's not catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a fun, catchy dance track, it's not fun. It's not lively. How do you dance to it? And 3, it's not catchy. 4, it's not catchy. I don't know. I just have.
I mean,
I don't see
I
what
beg
I'm
to
supposed to get
differ,
out
but
of it.
you know.
So
But that's
now do we go to the songs we all agree are bad?
Well, some of these,
Or that we agree
recently
that-
found out
yeah.
that Maria
Mostly
likes
agree
some
are
of them.
bad.
Maria
Yeah.
likes some of them.
Some of them.
I like. Okay, I didn't like some of the bad songs. Hold up.
You
There's
like
like
one of them.
one. There's
One.
like
You like one.
Fine, we'll put it.
There's
We'll put
one
another
I like.
transitional track in here. We're putting another transitional track. It's Wiki Mickey's Cool. Another transition track before we get to the
We're
bad
just gonna
songs.
split this list. Yeah, I literally just. Is it bad that I literally just heard this before this recording?
Like an hour ago.
Literally.
An hour
Because
ago.
you were
When
just
Maria
like,
heard
ooh,
this
Tuck
song.
love this. Yeah, because Kayla was all like, ooh, Tuck loves this song. And I'm like, ooh, I gotta hear it because I could potentially like it. But yeah, and I heard it. I'm like, ooh, this is like club bops. And then I just want to put this out there. Kayla has stated that this reminds her of what's that Britney Spears
Work
song
Bitch
again? That
by
reminds
Britney
me of?
Spears. Yeah.
Work Bitch. This reminds her of Work Bitch, so we'll leave it at that.
So this is
me,
like,
yeah.
I don't mind Lucky Meki's music as a whole. I like about like most of their title tracks I enjoy, and this is so not what the type of music I expect out of them, and it was so weird. And I hate that it sounds like early 2000s Britney Spears. Like, I just wasn't here for it.
You know, at least it's not If You Seek Amy, so it could be worse.
Yeah.
Because imagine hearing that song as like a 10, 11, 12-year-old. Oh, good lord.
God.
Oh, God. Because whenever that album came out, I think it was 2008, so I was like around 11 or 12 when that dropped. So, the Circus album.
Oh, the Circus, yeah.
Anyways.
Yep.
Anyways, back on track. Lucky Mickey. This just gave me that like kind of like club vibes. Like I'm like a sucker for those beats. It's like whenever that shows up, like was it that SF9 song? That's like I think it's Ready or Not, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember which one. The one that were all like jealous.
Oh, Now or Never.
Now or Never. There we go. Sorry. Oh my God. Ready or Not. Now or Never. I'm getting terrible. I'm terrible. But like that kind of vibe, I'm like a sucker for. Along with City Pop. You guys, if anyone like throws that in a song, I'm like, oh, here I come. Here I come, like a dog running after a stick or a tree. Like here I am, showing up. Showing up here right now. But yeah, Wiki Meki's not a group that I really care for in particular. I know they got 2 members that happen to be a part of IOI. But after watching this music video, they definitely have a higher production being thrown in from their company. What's her name? Doyeon still looks like a model. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, the song just kind of hits for me, even though I know next to almost nothing about most of the members besides 2 of them. You know, it's like it works for me. I don't know. Yeah.
So after that second transition song, here we are.
I swear there won't be any more.
So the bad songs.
Here we are in the bad songs. To start it off, we have Don Diddy Don by Dawn.
This name's so fucking dumb. I'm sorry.
That name is just...
I know he's trying to be smart and play on words with his name, and it's a hype song about himself.
Because it's genuinely...
He's trying to be smart. I don't know if it is smart. It's probably
Here's the thing. Is it smart even though it has become a joke? Because that's what it is.
Because now it's a joke.
I don't know if it's supposed to be a joke. But it is a joke.
Yeah, I don't know if he made this song like 100% serious or if the entire song is supposed to be a joke.
I can't tell. I'm hoping that he's in on the joke.
I also would not be
surprised if he isn't and this is serious and I'm laughing. I want to be laughing with him and not at him.
And then we have Jessie also out here just like being Jessie.
Being Jessie.
Oh boy. Jessie just entertains me at this point. I not absolutely love her stuff, but like she's just highly entertaining whenever
she is incredibly entertaining.
She shows up. She's just a character in of herself. Like you can tell that this chick grew up in New Jersey. She got that tough like northeastern attitude showing through in her charisma through these songs.
Look, I have to support.
Like I love the reference to Hyuna that she does. She's like,
Don also makes like references to Hyuna.
Of course he does.
Because like,
that's what makes me not sure if this is a joke or not. Just because he has to know that at this point he has no other identity.
Other than
except for being Hyuna's boyfriend.
Besides being also being a former Pentagon
I don't even think people care about that. I think they only care that he's Hyuna's boyfriend. I don't think people even... Because Pentagon moved on. Everyone's moved on from that. I think the only thing people right now care about is that he's Hyuna's boyfriend.
That's all he's got going for him.
That's all he's got going for him.
And he
Pentagon
continues
isn't like at the top of the K-pop industry. He's
And
not
he
the
just-
former member of a top tier boy group.
He just continues to bring it up in everything that he does, and I'm like, I
Yes.
don't know if Don has any identity outside of that anymore.
Like, what do you have other than being Hyunna's boyfriend?
I
What
think
do
at
you
this
bring
point
to
he's
the
just
table?
trying to own it.
He's also like a weird,
He
like
is.
he's like
but
dollar store G-Dragon in a weird
He
way.
is dollar store. But yeah, but he's always had that like dollar store
Yeah.
G-Dragon form of rapping. Even in Pentagon, he
yeah.
did.
You guys are harsh. Dollar store G-Dragon? Come on, man.
Look, G-Dragon also is not like the top
He's
tier
not
of a
close to
rapper anymore.
G-Dragon. Let's be real here. He's just trying to go with the generic kind of hip-hop influenced pop music, and it's kind of so far. His first song I thought was actually pretty solid. This
Money?
one I felt like it's kind of I actually liked Money.
Money is fine.
Money is
I
good.
preferred Money to
I like
Vince.
Money.
Yeah. This one I just feel like it's a little bit too try hard. Like it's somewhat entertaining, but it also feels a little bit too try hard.
My
I think
thing is
honestly
just,
the best thing to come from this comeback.
I need to know if I am making fun of this boy or if I'm in on a joke he's also in on. That's what I want to know.
I do want to know if he is in on if that it's a joke. Like
That's the
that
question I
will make a
have.
difference.
I don't know. I think if he was trying to deliver a joke, he poorly executed it.
That's what I'm
kind
saying.
of,
I don't
'cause
know if
it's
he's
too-
trying to be funny and failing at being funny, or if he's 100% serious and it's sad. Because if he's 100% serious, I think it starts to go into the realm of he's
it's
got
like-
nothing else.
Yeah.
He's got like nothing else if this is the serious one. All right, moving on to the bad part of NCT 2020.
The bad half of
we
NCT
have
2020.
Work It. We have Work It. Work It is the most confusing song on that whole album.
It's got the most confusing collection of people as well. I think
does.
I think it's a song where they threw everyone else that was left who wasn't in a song yet. Like that's what it feels like to
Not
me.
really, because a bunch of these people had already been in songs.
But it's like so weird the people they chose for it. It's also got the weird thing going on where it's just like a whole bunch of noises in the song. Like it's not great.
Because Work It is sorry. Johnny, Yuta, Ten, Jungwoo, Hendry, Jaemin, and Jisung. Jaemin, Yuta, Ten, and Jungwoo have already been in songs.
No, Jungwoo is. I think that's Jungwoo's only song, isn't it? Because he's not in 90s Love, is he?
Wasn't he in 90s Love?
I didn't think so.
We also don't love 90s Love either.
I don't love it. It's fine. It's not as bad as Work It. Work It is just weird to me. It's just like I
Work
don't
It is
understand
weird.
what they're
No,
going for.
Jungwoo
with
is not
Work
in
It.
90s Love.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I also don't remember 90s Love at all. I forget. The thing is, it depends on how you describe bad. Because I remember being very confused by Work It, and parts of it stick in my memory for just being weird. I don't remember 90s Love at all.
The only part of 90s
Period.
Love I remember is the part of it that's in the Resonance 2020 remix.
I don't even remember that.
It's like Work It is just so because I at least get what they're going for with 90s Love. It has a clear theme and it's like it knows what it wants to be. I don't like that.
I think
sort
it's just
of theme.
executed weirdly and also not great.
I mean,
I also feel so bad that is Sung Chan's debut song. When Shotaro got Make-A-Wish, one of these people got way the better end of this deal.
I don't even think it was executed that badly because it's like the styling makes sense for the song that they have. Like it's like all of what they're doing with 90s Love, it makes sense. I just don't like that style of music. Yeah.
I also think it could have been better with like maybe different people, maybe just something about it seemed like it was close to being good and then just like not. Something went wrong somewhere.
Work It is just
But Work It, I don't know what they're going for.
I don't know what they're going for. The song is bad. It's just very confusing. It has it's like the music video for it was like an afterthought. They put all the money into 90s Love and then the Work It one was just like here's something because we need a music video. It seems like almost no effort was put into every aspect of that song. Like it's kind of weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, I think that, again, this continues the trend of NCT not really being consistent, even within the same album.
No, it's like...
Varying levels of quality.
None of the B-sides on the part 2 are ones that I love or stand out as great.
I don't listen to part 2. I only listen to part 1.
I think
part 2 has nothing on
there's
there
nothing
that
on
I
part 2 that I want to listen to. That's why we only nominated part 1 for D Slappin Awards, because that's the only part of it that we care about.
It's worth nominating for anything. All right. So after that, we have GBTB.
Yeah.
Sure. By Very
sure.
Very.
I don't know what Very Very is doing anymore.
What is Very Very?
What are they doing? Like,
after Thunder, you get this.
So they also had, remember they had Layback at the very beginning of 2020.
Layback was good.
Layback was great. And then they like slowly started to go in like a weird, darker direction, and now we're at whatever this song is, and I don't think I like it anymore where we're going.
I want to go back. Okay, so theory now is just like they went dark for fucking Photo, and that was their best freaking.
That was their best Road to Kingdom performance.
That might have been their best performance on that whole show. Did they maybe try to lean into that and they're just doing it badly?
So the thing is this song isn't even really that dark. It's more of like, it's got like the trying to be Monsta X thing going on. Which too many groups are doing that sound right now.
Too many groups.
So many groups are doing the wanna be Monsta X sound.
Like Stray Kids isn't even Stray Kids and Monsta X aren't even doing that sound well. Do you think that you're trying to copy that is going to be better?
Yeah, and this song apparently did really well for them, which is good for Very Very, but also I don't like it at all. Bad for us? Yeah, I don't.
Because we're going to have to deal with more of this?
Mm-hmm. Because now that it did good, they're going to stick to it.
They're going to keep doing it.
I don't like it. It's very weird.
I don't want it.
Yeah. It's like and it's like, because Very Very is Jellyfish. All Jellyfish had to do is just make Very Very into like mini Vix.
Vix 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, they don't even have to, and by that they could have just given them like more fun concepts. They didn't have to be Vix, but just go more concept heavy with them. And like make everything a little more theatrical.
Vix wasn't even dark all the time. Like you can, like, no. Vix had freaking Love Equation. Vix had Great You. Vix had all these very fun songs.
If they just went like those. If they just stuck in the realm of like, let's make them like slightly more like concept heavy or something based off of each. Let's make each album its own thing, and they just want this very bizarre direction.
I don't know what the concept.
I don't know what it is.
Vix has weird, like Vix goes full Greek mythology with all their concepts, but they make perfect sense. Yeah. But if you watch the video, you get the concept they are going for, even when it is the weirdest concept. Yeah, I don't know what this concept is.
No, now Very Very is like a 2-year-old group now, and they don't have a concept still. So
yeah, that's the thing with like a lot of K-pop groups, where it's just like, if you're gonna do something like this, have a concept. If you execute it poorly, I still give you credit for trying something. This is the kind of K-pop where it's like general like boy band cool concept that's not a concept, that's a vibe.
Like, let's just compare this
vibes
to
don't make concepts.
Let's compare this to where Very Very debuted, because they debuted a New Jack Swing, like very cute group,
and here we are later.
Probably because I realized it doesn't sell as well.
I mean, New Jack Swing doesn't sell. And I'm not saying you should stay in New Jack Swing, but I'm just like,
they were cute for like a year. Very Very was a cute group for like a year until Layback, and then Layback was very good. And then I think they took that, like what they were doing with Layback, and they took it a little bit too much over the edge to where they are right now. Mm-hmm. And that's just where they are.
Maybe because they saw the reception for it was just better.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But I think it's just a little bit beyond where.
Yeah.
Whatever was working for them before.
What it should be.
Because Thunder was also pretty good. Like I liked Thunder. Because Thunder was more similar to Layback than it was to
I think it's song. It's a gradual transition where it's like, you had Layback, Thunder was pushing it a little bit more, this is pushing it more. I don't know where we go from here if they're going to keep pushing it, because that's a whole new thing, but let's just see what happens. To Very Very.
So we have AB6's Salute.
Oh, AB6.
I don't know what's going on with this song.
Or this group, frankly, because I forgot that they lost a member, so there's that.
You did forget.
That was a while ago, too.
That was a very long time ago.
I know.
They've had 3 comebacks since losing that member.
See, this is how you can tell life has just gotten to me lately, that I'm just getting ridiculously paying attention to, like, things that aren't K-pop.
It's like, who cares about that one member of AB6? Like,
Who gives a shit about AB6? Who gives a shit?
No one
actually,
does,
no.
and that's. And
I mean, people do.
there's
People
a
do.
reason.
no one on
People
this
definitely
podcast,
do. They're
We do
Produce
not.
101.
no one on this
We do
podcast
not.
cares. I don't know. AB6 is another group. It's like, I don't know what the concept of AB6 is either.
Neither do I.
Because they just had a comeback with a song that is nowhere even similar to what this was.
Nope. Not even similar. Not even within the realm of the same.
And then right before this was Answer. Answer's nowhere even close to what this song is. Like,
this new song is closer to Answer than it is to this.
yeah, I don't know what happened this comeback with, like, we're doing like weird. It's almost 80s like in a way, like early 80s.
This is like Wonderland,
Yeah.
but like bad.
Yeah.
This whole concept doesn't make sense, and it's the bad. Every decision I can see where it came from because it's taken from every other popular boy group of today.
It is.
And it's just done bad. It's just done worse.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's just done worse. It's because you see the freaking uniforms, you see the more rap heavy.
It's
see
because
the
no
marching
like
band.
actual creativity was put into the song.
No
It was just
creativity
stealing
was done
ideas
here.
from everybody else.
It's just take what are the most popular boy groups. It gives me a little bit of On vibes. It gives me Wonderland vibes. It gives me a bunch of vibes from the most, like, take the top tier boy groups of right now. It gives me oddly Stray Kids vibes, too.
It is also weirdly kind of Stray Kids like,
It
yeah.
gives me, like, a little bit of NCT. It just, take everything from every popular boy group right now, throw it in a blender, don't care if any of the puzzle pieces fit together, and then just make a song. And it's the least, and it's, this is what happens when you don't know what, that's what I say, it's not incompetent on the form of the members. They're being given a song from people who are just taking pieces from everybody else and not coming up with anything interesting.
Yeah.
That's who's the
And
incompetent
I think
one.
AB6 is, I think, a weird group that is relying almost too heavily on like the star power of the individual members
Of
to try
Woojin
to
and Daewee?
Yeah.
That's mostly
Because-
Daewee.
Well, all of them were
More
on.
so
All of them
Daewee.
except for one of them. Of the three that are left, three of them were on Produce Season 2, and we're doing stuff. Two of them were in 101, and then plus
Yeah.
one was in was also on that season. And it's like I almost feel like they're relying too heavily on the star power of their members to try to figure out what
they
AB6 is as
should
a
be
group.
doing.
Yeah.
I think that's why they got all of the freaking solos. They
Yeah.
wanted to see if any of these kids could take off solo, and then what at that point. And nothing is. Again, this goes back to why produce ruined this industry. There's a reason that none, except for the soloists, where some of the soloists are able to shine on their own and become superstars, none of the groups from any produce show have become mega super successful.
No, there
None
hasn't
of
been a single
That
one
we
of them.
know of.
Most of them
It's
have
really
disbanded.
just been soloists.
It's
been, like,
just the
soloists.
fact
It
that
is.
produce ends up making it. Everyone is a solo stand in produce.
Yeah.
On any produce season, you are a solo.
Because that's
stan.
what
Which
that show
inadvertently
does.
makes
Is
that
it
you
breeds
are.
it breeds solo stands. That show is what it,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
And so then you become a solo stan of the member in the group. And so why would I care if I'm a solo freaking Woojin stan? Why would I care about CIX? I don't. Or if you're a Jin Young stan, why should I care about AB6? You're not creating fans of a group that will follow the individual members. You're creating a fan of one person who's only going to care about one person. So 101 was fucking massive. 101 was like second biggest boy group the minute they debuted. But afterward, all the fans divide. And no one's going to become a superstar that way. You only have like an 11th of the fandom.
You know, it's very weird thinking about this, but I was just thinking of album sales wise. I think Gravity has been one of the most successful produced groups, which is a
Probably.
weird thought to think about because they just debuted last year.
Well, I mean, it helps if they're from
X1
Starship
existed a
too.
month,
From
yeah.
like with
It
Monster
does, but it's just like we've had like you see it even with the girl groups. You saw it with every IOI branch group is almost dead.
Yeah.
All you have left
two
is
of them are dead. Two of them are
two
actually
of them are
dead.
dead. And one of them is like limping along. What has Daya been like?
Daya,
all you
I don't
have
know
left
what's
is
going on with
WJSN
Daya.
and Wiki Mickey.
Yeah.
WJSN seems to be doing all right. I mean, considering
They're
they had
doing
a song
fine,
that like
but they're
blew
not-
up again on for
True,
like
but
New
they're
Year's.
not. They're
And
not,
WJSN
like,
also existed before produced.
Before Produce.
And Yeonjung was added after she won the show. So I like WJSN is
True.
like barely even like
they're
a
like a
produce
weird
branch group. Yeah.
And like Newest is thriving, but Newest had a career before, had a career after, and will have a career forever.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fine. It's like, I think, like, if you look at like the top 5 groups at any given time, no Produce branch group has ever reached the top
there.
5,
No.
maybe not even the top 10.
No.
Of at any given time, what are the top 10 idol groups?
AB6
None of them
is like,
are
I
up
think, the most successful one right now.
Yeah. Of the 101? Yeah.
Other
than Kang Daniel's solo career,
the
we don't
IOI
count
ones.
that.
Well, no, like discounting the soloist, I think AB6 is probably the most successful of all of them.
Except for Newest, which doesn't count
Newest
because they
is already a
existed
group,
before.
yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I just think that the 101, the branch IOI groups become a weird little microcosm of, like, super successful people being in mid-tier K-pop groups. Where it's like, these people have massive fan bases. Like, Daewoo has a big fan base himself, but AB6 itself does not have a super massive fan base.
In a weird way, it's almost the groups,
that's how that works.
The groups that have members who were on these shows and then didn't make the group are almost the more successful groups. Because if you look at that, like the Boys and ONEUS are both groups like that. So is Evergirl and so is G-Idol. So those are more successful groups than any of the actual direct branch groups.
So we went on a weird journey with ABs. Weird tangent about AB6.
Back to weird produced subgroup things. We have the WJSN subunit with that whatever
horrible
song that is.
We talked about that
We
on Top 10
already talked
Worst
about
of
it
the
on,
Year.
so we don't need to
made
talk
our
about
list.
it again.
It's terrible. It's not a song. And if you want something like it, just go listen to Orange Caramel.
It's worse Orange Caramel is what it is.
Just go listen to Orange Caramel. Better version of that.
Yep.
That's all I have to say.
Yep. And then we have Momoland, Ready or Not.
Oh, Momoland.
Something.
It's like, I don't know what makes this worse. The shitty music video for this, as in like the color gradient that you pointed out.
I don't know what happened with
someone
this music
pointed
video.
out because someone was like, the color gradient on this music video is terrible.
It
but
is.
like, it's not, I don't know if it's a terrible song, but it's just an easily forgettable song, which in some ways makes a song worse to me, because it's like, you don't remember it at
Yeah,
all,
because it's
it
not
just sounds like
so
everything
bad
else.
that I remember it, but it's just nothing.
No. But it's also just nothing about it I would say is good. It's just mediocre everything, which again, for Momoland, Momoland continues to have the problem of they're still trying to make the same song.
They had one
Again.
song that blew up, and now they remake
Now
that
they've
song
tried-
8 times
and-
in a row.
I think this company, I think, might actually be insane, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If it didn't work the last 5 times you've attempted to make Boom Boom again, I'm even gonna say, fuck it, let's just say Bam was fine. Bam was maybe the
Bam
most
did pretty
successful.
well, but then again, that
Bam
was
did
also
decent.
literally
So
right
let's
after
just say-
Boom Boom. So
okay,
it was
so
not
let's
like,
take out
They
Bam.
released the same song like 3 months after. So
Exactly.
it's like, yeah.
So let's just take out Bam. Even from Bam, there's been like 5 Momoland comebacks of them doing the same thing as Bam over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And every single time, people care less and less. Like, genuinely, no one talked about this song. No one cared that Momoland had
somehow it
released
still
another
got
song.
like 25 million views on YouTube. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
assuming
like
the
it's not that hard to
Filipinos
get
are backing them
25
up
million
still,
views on YouTube,
but-
because I got that song as an ad like 3 times.
Oh jeez.
Like, if you can, like, a lot of groups get songs that are ads a lot.
I don't pay attention to the YouTube views of anything anymore,
'cause
because
it's all-
everything, literally every group, like even the big groups, everything is
Do
pushed
ads.
as an ad, so
Yeah.
the views are very deceptive on everything.
Yeah, the views are weird, but like, in terms of that, like, no one talked about this song. There's a lot of people that did not know this song came out. And that makes sense, because it is the most forgettable song they've ever made. And I think that is what Momoland is slowly becoming. Because this sound is not new. This sound is not different. And that's all they had going for them to begin with. That Boom Boom was new and different. And new and fun and different. And when you keep doing that, it just gets
And
boring.
every single song since then has been just like a worse version of it. So
yeah.
it's not a great direction.
I just think that, like, and at this point, is it too late to save them? Because
it probably is at
been
this point. Because
like,
it's been how many years since then now? Like,
exactly. Like, if after BAM they did whatever the next one was, I don't even remember what the next one after that was. But let's just say they did the next one.
That might have been I'm So Hot. Like after
it might have been I'm So Hot.
Yeah.
Let's say they did I'm So Hot. I'm So Hot does a little bit worse. Even they say they do the next one and it still does worse. At some point, do something different. At some point, change the concept. At some point,
we have to release
something.
a song that is not the same song. Like,
yeah, at some point, you actually have to try to work on it and make it better, as opposed to just seeing if, well, maybe this time it'll work. Maybe this time we'll be able to do the same thing we did before, where, no, that's not going to work.
I think it is really, the company is literally stupid. Like, their company has no idea what they're doing. And they're, because it makes a lot of sense now, because their company also debuted another group this year, T1419.
Oh boy.
That's from the Momoland company, and they absolutely destroyed them pre-debut already by not giving them actual names for forever.
No. There were, like, we were so scared because we weren't sure if T1419 was going to debut before or after we did the second round of boy group debuts. So we looked into them just in case we had to talk about them. And when we looked into them, they had been out for like 2 weeks. They'd announced this group 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. They announced all the members, and there were no names,
only
no
numbers.
birthdays,
numbers,
only numbers. And I'm like, please tell me they're gonna give. I was genuinely scared that they were just not
gonna
give
just
these
have to
boys
refer
names.
to these kids as T84. Like that was his name. Like that was all we got.
I was genuinely that's not a bit, that's not a joke. I was genuinely concerned that these kids were not gonna get names. Because that seems like where we're heading sometimes with these weird new
since we're already on
songs.
this route, T1419's Dracula, also a bad song from Quarter.
Also bad.
Bad song. It doesn't help. They also did the thing where they did not reveal their faces. They refused to reveal the faces of the members and put them in really bad, like, horror clown makeup. I don't even know.
It was weird. I didn't like it.
Yeah. I don't know what it's like now thinking about how Momoland and them are for the same company. I was like, yeah, maybe the company just has like actually no idea what they're doing. Want to do with anybody. Yeah.
All right. So next
we've got a 2-for-1 next.
The two same songs that were released within a month of each other. We have Treasure's and then Kai's but with an H.
Yep.
It's
okay, I'm already gonna. I have a bone to pick.
What?
I have a bone to pick, and that's I think Kai's EP was pretty damn good, and I don't agree with this Kai.
We're only talking about the title track, which is. I want to just talk about the fact that we have 2 songs released in the same month that are the same title.
Yes.
I am 100% sure.
Funny. That is actually quite funny.
Song, they added an H to Kai's song because Treasure had done the song a month earlier.
Yeah.
That is a theory I have, and I think I'm right.
That was probably a last minute additive.
That
Probably
sounds
looked at that
like,
and was like, we gotta add an H, guys.
Does not have an H in it.
That was like,
very well
they
known
beat
as
us to it.
Add an H.
He's like, Kai, you insisted on keeping this one. He's like, yeah. They're like, we gotta differentiate though. Would you mind putting an H on the end? Yeah, sure.
All right, we can get Kai's out of the way.
To, man?
Kai's
I just
fine.
find boring.
Kai is mostly boring. It's fine. Kai's actually not on the bad list. I
it's
just wanted to point out that
we
had 2 of them.
I just have no feelings about it because I am very boring.
Treasure.
I mean, I do think that songs on his other songs on his EP are better than but I mean, I still think is pretty solid for what because I wasn't quite sure how his debut was gonna go. Because like I felt more confident with Taemin's debut back in the day than I did with like Kai's. Because
I
the big
think
clincher was the
Kai
vocal talent.
Yeah,
the big
that's what I'm
clincher was
saying.
the vocal
Taemin
talent.
has a Taemin. I think a lot of people forget how good of a vocalist Taemin is because he's in Shiny, where you have like S+ class like top tier vocalists in it, and Taemin is not on the level of the Shiny vocalists. But if Taemin was in any other group, he's a fucking main vocal.
Oh yeah,
Taemin's a main vocal in any other K-pop group. Just in Shiny, he's overshadowed by the quality that's in that group. And I think Kai is not a vocalist. but EXO
Or
is
at least
also
not as good of a
never
vocalist
used
as
as-
Kai is
Taemin, hence
very-
why I
Kai
was
has
concerned.
never
But I
been
knew
used
the boy
as a
can
vocalist.
perform.
Kai
He
is
can
a very
perform, though.
solid sub vocal.
He's a solid
Yeah,
sub vocal.
Kai can perform.
Yeah.
So that's why it depends on like what songs he was doing. You know, that would like in terms of vocal ability, along with the dancing. That I'm like, it depends what combination they're gonna do. They have to be really careful with that for him. And I think for him, he did pull it off pretty well. But yeah.
So my big
Then
problem,
there's Treasure.
my biggest problem with Kai is that he's a very good dancer. I think he's one of the better K-pop dancers. I don't think he lacks facial expressions. Is I think my big thing with him.
I think 10 years in or 8 years, I don't know how long ago EXO debuted at this point. I don't know. But his facial expressions, especially solo,
Yeah.
are sometimes a
They're,
little
like,
weird. But
very
also, I think
weird.
this song is also a weird song to have. We'll get to that more in Treasure, but a song called what facial expressions are you giving here? It's not.
Your lips are pursed together in a flat line, like, You know? Are you staring at pizza going,
Are you, like, what?
Are you staring at a
It's
woman's
not-
booty going, Like, you know.
Kai,
like it's one of
what
those
do
two
you mean by,
options. Yeah, it's
I
one
think
of
we
those
know
two
what he
options,
means, but also, like...
if you're a dude.
It's like, but I just get like nothing from his stage presence as a whole. It's like from Taemin, he seems,
Taemin lives and breathes
I
every
get
song
I
he
get like
does.
nothing from Kai like when he performs. It's like I can see that he's talented, but I just almost like I feel like I get like almost nothing from him like stage presence wise. And I think that's my like bigger problem with it is it just feels so nothing. Is like I feel like he in a weird way like he like it makes sense that he debuted solo, and I feel like he's not like a strong vocalist, but like I think he has the ability to like just hold a solo on his own, but I'm just getting absolutely nothing from him, like
The stage
as a
presence.
whole.
And you wouldn't think that a member of EXO would have a problem with stage presence, and yet here we are. So, Treasure.
I'm uncomfortable with this song.
I don't.
So uncomfortable.
10 seconds in, I paused it and was like, I don't want to be here.
After I heard the intro of the song, I was like, oh, so this is the direction we're going. Because I didn't know what to expect from the song originally. I'm like, what does this mean? And then I heard it, and I was
didn't
like,
know in what direction they were going
oh.
to take the word
That's
and
where
then they
we're
took it
going.
in that direction, and I'm like, sure.
It's like, isn't there, like, I think one of you two said, one of them
One
like
of you is
15 or
15 years
16.
old.
Yeah.
A few of you, I think, are 15
song like
years old.
this.
Please stop.
I
They're
mean,
too
granted,
young to
it's
be
not
on that
appropriate
song.
for people
It
this
does
age,
not
but let's
work.
be real here. But
It
let's be
doesn't-
real here. This kind of song would be the type of song people at that age would gravitate towards.
Sure.
the
But, like, the
15-year-olds
thing
love
with
that song,
The
yes.
15-year-olds would love it. However, I think the other thing with it is just like, even if I was 15, I feel like 15-year-olds trying to do this, it's just I don't know if they can even pull it off. Like, if we were 15, would
you're a
this seem
child.
weird because, like, you're a child? Like, I know that this
Yeah.
would be the kind of things you'd gravitate to, but I also feel like when we were young, this was something that we gravitated to, but it would be done by someone who was like 20.
Or like, in
Like,
college
older?
age at
Like,
most.
yeah,
Yeah,
the person doing it would be older.
Yeah.
Not a 15-year-old
Not
doing
also
it for
15
another
years old, yeah.
15-year-old. Because that's the problem here, is like, they're so young, they don't know what they're doing.
I mean, the exception
You
would
can-
probably be Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
If anything,
Justin
but let's be real here. Like, he was like young. I thought he was a chick the first time I heard Justin Bieber sing.
But, like,
'cause I was
Justin Bieber was going
damn.
way more innocent than what this is. This is...
True.
This is too...
For a while, Justin Bieber was very just innocent. And then
Innocent.
he went a very weird direction, but that's another
But that's
story.
neither here nor
That's
there.
all another
just a whole
story.
other
That's
thing.
neither here nor there. But back to Treasure. YG, I don't think knows what to do with a non-hip-hop boy group. So he's just, trying
Because
80
Treasure
different... As
Treasure
all
is
the
the least
concepts.
YG group that YG has
Yes.
now. They're
Yes.
not. They're very un-YG, and the
But-
4 songs they've released are so
different than
They're
each
so
other. I
different.
don't know if he knows what to do with a non-hip-hop group, because they're not super hip-hop oriented. Because Boy and I Love You are similar enough. Those are a sign of the similar vibe.
Yeah.
Is a completely different vibe. And now you have My Treasure, which is just a Christmas song.
It's a weird Christmas song, yeah.
Gives me subtle Christmas vibes. And I just don't know if he knows what to do with them. Because he's doing something different. but I don't know if YG knows.
Actually, I don't even know. I
Actually,
wonder how
YG, the
much...
person is gone from
the
YG.
company. I refer to YG the company as a he because it had a face.
Then again,
I'm talking
but
YG
then again,
the company.
But then again, YG the dude
Who knows?
is still
He's
like
still
a
there.
shareholder to what I know.
Still the
of,
massive.
so...
He's still the biggest shareholder in that company. I think he's still running the show. I just think that they need to stop. Do my treasure. Do I love you? Wait a couple years until you can actually pull this off. And also, is a very weird phrase to make a song about. Please, let's not do that again. We already have 2. We have enough.
Yeah, we already have 2.
We have 2. We don't need more.
One of them is by an EXO member who has been in the industry for how many years now?
And one of them is from babies. Literal babies in the industry. We don't need more. We're done. Retire the phrase hum.
Alright, then what Fast mentioned is the boys released a Christmas song, and
we don't like Christmas songs.
A reminder that Christmas songs are bad.
Christmas songs generally are boring,
K-pop
and
Christmas
K-pop
songs
Christmas songs, there's never been a good one. Only good Christmas song is Happy Merry Christmas by J01.
Only one.
End of story.
Yes.
And then lastly, the last song we're talking about that really, I think, ended the year is Rain and JYP's duet Switch to Me. What did Rain do this year? What has he done this year?
He's just shown up in what he released a song like a year or 2 ago called Gang, but it was so bad it became a meme. And then J Park and some people in his higher music label did a remix to it. And then Rain showed up in a Zico track off of his EP this year, and now he shows up as a JYP duet.
And isn't he also in that gross SAC 3 thing that's happening?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He did SAC 3 this year, and he did the song with Zico this year, and he did this. Mm-hmm. This is Rain's year this year.
Oh, wasn't he also on Island?
He was a judge on Island.
Yeah.
He was the better...
It's definitely a way to revitalize his career, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But in terms of the songs, Summer Hate was bad. SAC 3 was also bad. And this is not good.
No.
Please, Rain.
Just not good.
Rain has got to, he's got to pull
I'd say Rain go into the military, but he's already been to the military. We can't just tell everyone to go into the military and come back when they've cleared their head.
Rain maybe just needs to hold on for a hot second and just think
Rain
about what he actually needs to do next.
Rain, you're a decent host of reality competition shows. Host one of those, and then come back when you've actually come up with different ideas.
Yeah. Rain, Rain had a year. He had a very weird year. Rain did have a year.
Again, he had an interesting comeback to the scene, that's for sure. All because of a questionable song that the Korean internet mocked.
That was the song that revitalized the Korean, because that song is horrible.
Exactly, and that's why it was so popular on Korean internet, because they were like, this is crap,
so
but
bad.
Hilariously bad.
And it's so funny because he made that song 100% serious, and then Korea picked it up and was like, wow, this is hilarious.
This is hilariously bad, and I, you know what? They're not wrong. It is very bad.
And then surprisingly, J Park managed to make a somewhat decent remix off of that, instrumental.
Somehow, J Park
by the grace of God,
J Park saved that song somehow.
Somehow.
I don't get how, but he did. He hopped on it.
Is an
like, let's do a remix.
Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah.
There we go.
That was our best and worst of quarter 4. This will probably be the format we use going forward.
It will. And then
because this was way more fun than any of whatever we were doing
the
other
before.
3 quarters.
And it's a hell of a lot quicker.
Oh, that's half the length of the other ones. That's great.
I do apologize to editor Kayla, who's gonna have to edit out all of my coughing.
Oh, it's fine.
I was just choking.
Oh, editor Kayla's gonna have a time with all of these mini tangents we went on.
Most of them will stay.
Most of them can stay.
I'm like done with editing out tangents because I'm like, they're kind of fun. So they're just gonna stay in the episodes from now on. And this is not you're just gonna get random people on these quarter podcasts now. It's whoever is available is the people who are gonna be there. Because scheduling 5 people together is really impossible.
We can do that maybe once or twice a year, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt to do, so let's be real.
It's too hard.
It's like the epitome of like the trying to hang out with your friends, and you're just like, oh, I work on Tuesday and Thursday. It's like, oh, well, I work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So like, this is never gonna happen.
Oh, well, I'm trying to save the planet, and I got called in for overtime. It's like, yeah, it's a time.
But thank you for listening to our episode, and if you're listening to us on YouTube, we also are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all of the other basic podcasting sites. And if you're listening to us there, we also have a YouTube channel where we will post, as long with all of our episodes, fun clip videos once a week. And we also have a Twitter account at Slappin Kpop Podcast, where we post whenever our new episodes come out. And we also have a K-pop collection Instagram that we all share together. So yay. And thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the new format of this show, because this is how it will be from now on. So if you don't, then that's too bad.
Too bad.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.